So in this video we are going to add a form so that we can add book data to the database. So to do that, just create a folder called form, and inside that folder we are going to add every form that is required all over the application. So now let's create one form to add a book. So create form, file name called addbook.hbs. okay, now let's grab some input data from W3 school, copy this one and paste it here. Okay, so we are going to render this into our application. So how do we do that? So to do that, we just have to create a router which will render this file. So now get to the route and create one folder called book. Everything related to book are going to this folder. So inside that, create one folder called index.js. now go to here, copy this one because this one looks like the templating of the route, and so this one is the home route of book. So home route of book will return some values like message, this is home route of book. Okay, now instead of render, just like write it as send. Now just write one router to render book. So book add book form. So just create one router add book. So add book will render this one. So to render this add book form, we just have to pass the relative path from the views. So from views it has form and add book. So just write form slash add book. Okay, we are not going to pass any data in the add book route. So we will pass in the future, but currently we just want to render this form. That's why I have written like this, form slash add book. So if you want to pass some data, then you can just write like this, write like this. So just write curly braces and pass whatever data you want, whatever. Okay, so this will not actually this will not actually render anything to our application because we have not used that to our application. To use that router to our application, we just have to add this router to the application. So just require const book route equal to require routes slash book. So now we used that and just add the book route here. So use book route here. So what I'm going to do is we are going to just differentiating all routes by the, so the first endpoint should be look like book. So everything starting with book are going to this folder here. So and just write book route here. So if you run this, rerun this again and go here and just type slash book, then it will be returning you the some JSON messages. And if you type add book, then it will be returning you the add book form, but add book form doesn't look so nicer. What we are going to do is just compressing it in the middle. So how do we do that? So Bootstrap has some functionality to move it in the middle. So just add one class, div class sm, call sm6 and call md6 and call sm offset 3 and put everything inside that div. And if you refresh the page, you will see some changes. So that form is now look nicer and everything is in the middle of the viewport. So we will change this name and these labels in the future according to our need. So in the next video we are going to store the values of this form to our database. Okay, so to store it into our database, we will have to create a model. So we will be creating it in the next video. So in this video what we have learned is how to create a router, how to render views through the router, and how to use that router into our application with a particular endpoint. So on the book endpoint it will be using the book router, on the slash endpoint it will be using index router. So that's it for this video. See you in the next.